Alright, this is Christ and Christ Crucified in the key of C major. It's around 72 BPM for the tempo. It's a really fun song, very upbeat. We've been playing it a lot in our student ministries, but also in our main services now. And we bounce around in terms of what key we play it in. And so I might do multiple videos like explaining the parts for that key, but for now, this will just be a full tutorial in the key of C with a playthrough at the end. So to start, in the intro, I'm not playing anything. It's just piano for the introduction, and then verse 1 and 2. I come in technically at the turn after the first chorus, but I've been playing very lightly, kind of the lead line for chorus 1. So I'll usually come in there with just a very light, gentle tone, and I'm doing, I don't even know what you call this, but they're kind of like almost like power chords in a way, but you're just playing the D and B string, and you're both on the 10th fret, and then bouncing between the 8th and the 10th on the B string. And when it gets bigger into the choruses, I'm kind of strumming it. I'm like muting everything else, all the other strings, and just strumming it as if it's a chord, but I'm only playing those two strings. But then for the first chorus, where it's more low key and gentle, I'm just kind of plucking them individually. Slide from there up to the 12th fret, back to 10, back to 8 and 10, and then all the way down to 5. And I'm going between the 5th and the 3rd fret here. Slide all the way up to 8 and 10, and it's nice to hear that slide, like this. And then I do this little, just a little ad lib there in between. So once you slide up, it's 13, 12, 10 on the B string. Back to the same thing. And then we're sliding all the way up here. So it's 10, 10, 12, 12, 14, 13. And then following the hallelujah part, it's the 15th fret on the E string to 13 to 12. So that last part is 15, then 13 on the B string to 15 on the B string, and then 12 on the G. And then end with 12 and 13. So it's right in that like D shape for C major, if that helps you visualize it. Yeah, and that's the first chorus. So again, I'm doing that pretty softly. Then for the turn around, I'll click on more gain, and I'm just pedaling on the 3rd fret on the A. So it's that C right there. And then as you kind of just stay there until the verse starts, and then once the full band comes in, I strum this F-shaped chord. So I'm doing the 3rd fret on the A and D strings, keeping the G open, and then the 1st fret on the B. You can hit the 1st fret, the F, on your thumb if you want, or just mute it. But after you strum that, I just go back to pedaling on the 1. I'm pretty much doing that the whole 3rd verse up until the part where they sing the hallelujah again, and I go up to the 8th fret on the B string, and then just follow that vocal line. So it's 8, 10, 10, 9 on the G, and then 8, 9, 9, 7. And then verse 4, we come in pretty big. and that I play up here. So I'm doing it in this, I don't know what you call this shape, but it's kind of like a G inversion. So it's the 9th fret on the G string and then the 8th on the B and E. And I'm just strumming it as fast as I can, basically the whole time. And I'm alternating between that and then sliding my middle finger up to the 10th fret, keeping the 8th fret on the other 2 strings. Alternating between those two. And then once you hit the minor chord, see, I think you alternate twice. Then for the minor, I play it 9, 10, 8. So it's like this. For the A minor, and then back to, it's an F, right there, like a C sus. And then do the Hallelujah line. So that'll make sense altogether when I play it, but yeah, hopefully you can kind of break those parts up and watch them slowly just to learn them if you're learning this for the first time. And then that brings you to chorus 2. So chorus 2 is like full band, full dynamics. It's the biggest it'll pretty much be. And so I usually play 2 different ways. So there's basically the same version of what we played for chorus 1 that you could just play for chorus 2, but add more gain, and you're just strumming it instead of plucking those notes. That's one thing. Or what I've been liking to do lately, there's this nice like synth in the track that you can hear pretty clearly in the tracks, but if you're not playing with tracks or they're just not very loud, it's actually a really nice part to play and just to have kind of singing through the song. I feel like it just fills a lot of space and it sounds really good. So I've actually been playing that. It's not necessarily a guitar part, it's from the tracks, but I've been doing like a hybrid where I play a little bit of the guitar part and a little bit of what the track has. So if you wanted to just do the full guitar part, it would basically just be this. Same thing as chorus 1 where you're doing the 10th fret. I'm just strumming it instead of plucking. Which you could pluck if that's preferred, but it's nice to really accent those hits too. So that's like the main guitar part that you can play for the chorus. If you want to do this little riff that's in the track, I basically start the same way. And then right there, I'll switch to this part. You can hear it in the track if you really listen. So I'm doing that. And then when it switches, you kind of do the inversion. So it's 12, 13, 10 on the bottom 3 strings, and then it changes to 10, 13, 12. And then I go up to that Hallelujah part. So yeah, I'll be playing it like that just because that's the way I normally play it. But those are your 2 options. As far as what I can tell, there's obviously more guitar parts that you could play, or you can make up your own and play that. But from here, we go into this big instrumental that just starts kind of lower dynamically, although it still has a lot of energy, and builds and builds and builds through the bridges, and then we go into a huge chorus at the end. So you're playing throughout the whole thing, which is cool. You start with this. It's like a C, kind of like a C major G shape here, where you're doing the 5th fret on the G string and the 8th on the B and E. That's the general shape, but you're actually starting here. So you're doing the 5th fret on both the G and B, and you're going from 5, 6, 8 on the B string, keeping the G. So, and the picking pattern kind of sounds like this. So at the end there, I'm adding in the 7th fret on the G. But that's basically it. So you do this for the instrumental and the first bridge. You can add that E in for a little accent. And you do that the whole time, and then bridge 2, you change and go up to that C chord in the D shape up here on the 12th fret. So it's 12, 13, 10. And you're kind of just alternating between these 3 strings. It basically just sounds like this. And you can palm mute it, or you can ring them out. Or do both, whatever you prefer. That's bridge 2. And then bridge 3, you're doing just the bottom 2 strings. So it's 13 and 12. And just hitting those over and over, like pedaling on them as loud as you can. And you're bouncing between the 15th and the 12th fret on the E. So you're kind of just doing it like this. And you're just building and building and building. And then right before you break for the chorus, I slide up to the 15th fret on both strings. And then when you go into chorus 3, we usually do a huge break, and just hit those hits really hard. So it kind of be like up here, quiet, and then hit that 8-10 transfer. That's pretty much it. And then we love to go back to the bridge or that instrumental if we have time. But that's obviously subject to how you're playing it live. So here's the full playthrough with the track so you can hear everything all together.
Of my sin was death. You knew I couldn't pay the debt. You paid it with your final breath. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. You took the ride I deserved. Your holy blood broke every curse. Your